Good evening. Tonight, my focus is on Mr. Charamba or Jamwanda, who is the spokesperson for President Mnangagwa. We had an extensive exchange on Twitter today, and what caught my interest is his state of mind, what occupies his mind. There are things that he stated that got me to think whether we live in the same ecosystem. If so, how come there is no convergence on thoughts and on actions? And it also got me to think that there are many people who work for government who actually think they know it all, or they are possessed with the requisite knowledge to be able to be judges of anything that may invade their mindsets. So this was what he shared in relation to Shabani Mashaba Mines. Some people may take it as a joke. Some people have heard so many names being mentioned, with me being regarded as an agent either of President Mnangagwa or the late Minister Zobo. So he introduced the Zobo factor, and this is what he said. And Tibireipo Taurenyika, what led Zobo did in the whole transaction that wound up benefiting you because you happen to be the only Zimbabwean in place at the time of sell-off. So he's got something that he believes is fact, and that's what he has chosen to share. And he shares it as if I am the liar and he is telling the truth. Good evening, Michael. Hello. I'm joined by Michael, who is with us. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
How are you? We're just talking about Mr. Charamba. I don't know whether you know the gentleman called Charamba.
Charamba.
George. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Charamba, yes. How are you?
No, I don't know whether you know him.
Know him as a personal or know it because as a presidential spokesperson?
Whatever you can maybe describe what you know of him, whether you know him personally or not.
He's a government official.
Okay.
Yes.
Does
He's known to most.
Does he act as a government official or as an owner of government?
That's a very deep question, you know. In what regard is it from the tweets that you guys were having, or are you
Or
just
did you
asking?
follow the tweets? Did you follow the tweets?
Yes.
Perhaps we can start if you did follow. And you are now the judge of what was shared.
It sounds like two people who know each other having a discussion.
Okay, but can you recall what was shared, or just pick one that provoked your interest or attention? Is there anyone that stands out?
I think it was just a general debate that you guys were having. I think, which questioning each other and where the narrative was coming from.
Okay.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
You are refusing to be specific. You are
No, I'm not
accepting.
refusing. I'm not refusing to be
And
specific, but
good evening, Levius.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You seem to be in darkness, so you can only be in Zimbabwe. After 40 years of
Yes,
independence,
yes. Power is off.
the power is off. Okay. That's the dividend of independence.
But how are you, sir?
How are you? How are you? Did you have any chance of following on Twitter what was being discussed?
Yes. I was following in the afternoon.
So, did you have a chance of following my conversation with the person who uses the name Jamanda?
Jamanda too. Yes.
All right. And what was your take?
Right. My take was that I really followed, and I had some facts that I didn't know of the all the operas that happened. But to my understanding, it was about two people who knew each other and who knew a lot about each other, and also. But my take was on the issue of the one was on the issue of the transfer pricing allegation. Then secondly was on the
All right.
issue was on the issue of the call between RGM and Zobgo, which was
Yeah. Or
which was
the
supposed
alleged the alleged core, the alleged core or the core.
the alleged call
All right.
between RGM and the Zobgo,
Yeah.
who was supposed to have been the engineering of the deal.
Okay. So according
Yes.
to Charamba,
Yes.
there was a call
Yes.
between two people. Is that correct? Huh?
yeah, according to what Jamwanda said, wrote on there. Yes.
Yeah, he was a call between two people, unless you are eavesdropping or it's on speakerphone. How would you know what they've discussed?
All right. I see where I see now. So that was not mentioned, was it? That did you respond saying that was a telephone call? Because
He
I
said
didn't see that.
telephone call between Mugabe, who was his boss, and his minister, and on this particular phone, he happened to be eavesdropping.
Well,
And then he talked about what?
but the telephone call did are you also aware of the full telephone call?
How would I be aware of it other than on Twitter?
So why should it matter then if he says, because it's Jamwanda, let's use his name on there, and refer it as that. because we don't know who's behind we assume we know who's behind
No, he already exposed himself that he was very close to President Mugabe. So it's not just a Jamanda who is a pedestrian.
uh,
Huh?
it is a difficult it's a difficult call really to be honest, because it was a very interesting, I think, debate between two people who knew who knows each other very well.
No,
Unless if you say to yourself, if you say to me, you
you are,
say,
you are misunderstanding the point. People don't know each other. They pretend to know each other.
there we go. Now we are talking. So are you saying you don't know each other?
He pretends to know me more than I know myself.
But do you know Damanda? Is
I
George Arab?
shared the same bed with him.
That was not my
I
question.
know. No, I'm saying is I don't know anyone who has not revealed himself. Today he was able to reveal himself that he actually pretends to know me.
Okay. Besides this Jamanda name, do you know George Charamba?
Yeah, I know him, but I can't say I know him now because I thought I knew him.
You thought you knew him.
Yeah, but the person who was talking today is a strange person because
in what regard?
He believes he knows what he doesn't know. Here you have, imagine you have an asset belonging to somebody else. Then you have the president of the country talking to his minister about something that is not theirs. Both of them.
Yeah. So
Huh?
the question comes, the question comes back to the issue of.
I think Levi is trying to say something. Can you hear it? I
Yeah,
can
I can
only
hear
see his teeth. I can only see his
Okay.
teeth.
Okay, I'm saying so now from my when I was following, I was just seeing that there is a person who claims to know what was happening, even if he was not in the interest of the deal, but he knew what was happening, and also he happens to understand that he's purporting that he knows that something was done through the influence of other people for somebody to get to have a benefit of something that he didn't really work for.
Okay. There's a letter that I've posted there.
Okay.
And I shared with him.
Yes, from America.
I don't know that you can see it. I don't know that you can see it.
That's true.
Let me see. I'm using my phone.
Can
Yeah.
you see it?
I read
I'm
it
using
in
my
that
phone.
one.
Let me try and there's a pause button there. Is there a pause button? Or is
Yeah.
it my pause button? I can't see it properly, to be honest, because I'm using my phone.
All right. So do you want us to read it?
Yeah, that'll be great. Thank you.
Okay. So let me read it. It says 28th September 1995.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Mawere Esquire, World Bank, Stroke IFC, 1801 K Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., 20433 USA. Dear Mr. Mawere, so for me to have received this letter, where would I have been? Would I have to have been in Zimbabwe?
No, because it is a letter. I think you need to carry on reading it so we understand. So that's you addressed to you in an address that is in America.
That's right. That is not in Zimbabwe or South Africa.
No.
So it means on the date it was sent and received, I must have been
No.
at that address for me to receive it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have possession of it. Is that correct?
Yes. That's a fact. It's a fact that the letter
Yes.
went to an address of your residence because it's addressed to you, and you managed to accept it in some way or have it.
But that possession of it, it means it arrived.
Yes, it did arrive.
Yes. Did
But
arrive.
whether you are in South Africa or in Zimbabwe, it does not matter.
Yeah. And it says, I refer to your letters of 6 and 17 September concerning the above. It doesn't say, I refer to my conversation with Zimbabwe or Mugabe or whoever, or Mnangagwa.
Yes.
And
It's
the above.
to my letter. And the above is Shabani Mashaba Mines Private Limited.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So it is, there's no reference to Jobo having approached on my behalf.
No.
Is that correct?
It's correct.
From this letter, there's no mention. There is no Zobo, being mentioned here,
except in Charamba's little head with 2 ears.
But having a letter, right? Because it's a very good 11 that it was sent to you. It went to an address, you received it. But in what regard was Charamba saying? Was he questioning your integrity, or was he questioning that somebody?
He's got the V11s in his head.
I'm sure.
Between his 2 ears.
I wish if we could hold him, it would be very interesting to have him on here, to say it.
No, you already have a question. Why do you need him?
So that he would tell us more on why he said that.
No, why do you need to inquire further when the person who owns the company is the one that writing to me, and writing to me not as an agent of somebody else, writing to me
as a potential.
Hello?
Yes,
I can hear you.
I'm hearing you.
But let's say, is
okay.
Saying something?
Okay, I was saying I was hearing what I was saying about the letter.
Yeah. So do you hear that the letter was responding to my letters?
Yes. Yes, it was.
True.
Which means the first one was ignored.
Yes.
Then the second one. And then after the second, then the chairman responded.
Yes, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm getting it.
Yeah. At no stage is it stated that there was an approach by the minister in the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Yes,
and he would have introduced me to this person. Is that correct?
Very true.
Very true.
Yeah. Yeah. So I give it to Charamba, thinking that is for some conscience to say, I want to sing Amazing Grace today. I didn't know because I was not privy to the letter. And what does he do? He believes in fiction, in speculation, and this is a person in the president's office.
Very close.
And yet so far away from the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
And he works for the people of Zimbabwe, not himself.
Which is very true.
Knowing that this person is close to the president and he would argue against facts.
Which is obviously.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, I'm listening. I'm listening. Yes, I'm listening to your point in narrative about integrity, because there's a question of integrity, isn't it? That's what you have raised here.
Yes.
That Jamwanda is not a principled person. Is that what you are trying to say, Mr. Mawere?
No, I'm saying that the letter mentioned what visited his mind. So unless there are ghosts that visited his mind and crystallized an opinion that is only his opinion, that this letter is a lie, is phony, because he alone knows the truth. He has been to the promised land himself.
Are we saying this? So Jamwanda, I think I wish if we could have had him here, so that he could say why he thought that.
Do you need Jesus to say why he was crucified?
No, you don't need Jesus to tell you that why he was
crucified. Yeah, just learn from the story.
Do I need to know? It's the story that matters.
The story is clear that the chairman of the company that owned the company in Zimbabwe is writing to me in America.
Yeah, which is true.
And that letter never went to Zimbabwe.
Right.
So how could President Mugabe know about something that was never revealed to him?
Very true.
How could he know about something that never went to Zimbabwe?
Very true. So now
yeah.
Oh, I was saying, so now the narrative that he pushed in the afternoon, to me, he was trying to say that the government was trying to save the people from somebody taking away their resources and giving them nothing.
No, he is saying that he was told by Zobro and he eavesdropped on a phone call between Mugabe and Zobro, talking about and this transaction. And both Zobro had nothing to do with this asset.
True and true.
Yeah. So what is he telling the public?
What he's telling the public is that the government is saying that his government that he is working for, he is a dubious in one way or the other. That it intervenes and it interferes in personal or in personal.
But Levi has just the tweets. Don't import yourself into his mind. Otherwise, you get the same problem.
I'm trying to read his mind. I'm trying to read his mind.
No, just say what he said, not what you think he said.
He's saying that the government's intervention was to save the people.
No, he never said that. He said Zobo and Mugabe were speaking and he happened to be in the phone call as a third party.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's true.
This version and Mugabe's version that Zobo negotiated for the company to be bought by a Zimbabwean, and I happen to be the only Zimbabwean available. Why are you laughing? It's not a joke. This is an exercise of public power.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Very true, yeah.
This is your government. Somebody works for the government, and he's telling you all this. That I was part of a phone call, and that Zobo picked me from a trash can and threw me into the deal because I happen to be the only one.
That's very true.
So I was lost and found by
It's
Zobo.
Maraba corruption.
Yeah?
It's not procurement process.
No, I'm saying is we're just talking about, this is a letter that is there.
True.
Yeah, that's true.
Talking about me, it's not talking about me being an agent, but in Charamba's head, he sees me as a parasite, as a cockroach,
Yeah, that's true.
No,
as a fly.
do you think we are just trying to think here? We are not supposed to. That is what you think. Do you think he was trying
No,
to
that's
say?
what he said. That's what he said in his own words.
But
Yeah,
could
because
his
he's
own words be
What
trying
did
to
he
say?
say? You want me to go to what he said?
Let's go and then let's read
I
and see if we fail.
Birepo Taurira Nyika, what let Zobo did in the whole transaction that wound up benefiting you because you happen to be the only Zimbabwean in place at the time of sale-off. Wakuda kuti tidure zvakawanda manje. Tidure. So he is saying, I'm a liar.
yes, that's true. And he's saying
Yeah,
he
that's
has
what
more
he-
information.
But with me, I would come up and say, does it? If he says, right? I'm looking at this tweet. I'm just judging from the tweet and trying to analyze that tweet. He says you were the only person that was available at that time, right? Don't be the judge of this because it is according to him, to Jamanda, that he says.
No, the letter doesn't say
Wait.
so. That I was available.
Wait. Let me look at that tweet, and then he says you were the only person available. Zobo got in and he was involved in making it happen for you. In my question, does it matter? Was there anything that conflicted with the constitution of Zimbabwe, the procurement process? Because if there is nothing, then hapana nyaya. Because if you are the only person,
you are not understanding, Michael. You have somebody who says, "Dinoda kudura." I was in the bedroom when you had sex.
but chimwe chachadura ipapapo ndozvatoda kuti tinzwisise kuti chii chimwe chichadurwa ipapo.
No, I'm saying in the letter, does it say what he is saying?
No. Comparing the letter to the text, there's contradicting issues because there's two different narratives.
One is a lie and the other one is the truth.
The truth. And the truth is the letter, because the letter is coming from the owner of the company who is selling his company.
No, he's not even selling. He's saying you are pestering me. There was nothing for sale.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Because this is, then if you look at the letter, it goes on to state that your unsolicited approach
Yes.
appears to be a misunderstanding of this company. SWAT. Let me just check. Announce the plans. Announce, not clandestine plans.
Yes.
Announce, yes.
Yeah. To make a number of disposals of non-core activities during the next 2 years or so. Nonetheless, I've asked David Karatas, our deputy chairman, to arrange a meeting with you to discuss your interest and the precise nature of your proposal, not our proposal. Mr.
No.
Karatas will call you shortly to arrange such a meeting, not a meeting as me as representing somebody,
No.
a meeting of me representing myself with my proposal, not with Charamba or Mnangagwa or this Ashobo, let alone Mugabe.
Or later on Mugabe.
He doesn't say, I have heard from Zobo that you are the only living Zimbabwean available.
Available.
That's what he
At that
takes me.
time.
I'm a vacation carry.
But I think in some fairness, he acknowledges that you are the only person available.
Available for what? Is it a beauty pageant or what? What is it? Is it some prostitution ring or what?
No, I'm just having a laugh. But I think it's like we've always discussed this, Mr. Mawere, and we've always come to say that the way we've got a way of entitlement. I think as we speak, we think we're entitled to everything that we say. We think we are in control of everybody around us, which is the biggest problem
No,
in the narrative that we live.
but Michael, just speak to the tweet and the letter. The tweet says precisely what he's saying.
When we have exhausted it, you really, the person who had to talk about that was you, because it is you who know and who knew what happened, and you have made an effort to actually produce that letter to
But
say, look,
with me, Charamba
wait,
is
can I finish? And then he says, you have
right.
come. Tarama said what he said, and you were not in agreement to that, and you said no, it was yourself, and then you've actually gone to produce a V11 to say, look, my friend, shut up, you do not know what you're talking about. This is what I did for me, for myself, for what I pushed for. You see, so there's nothing really else to say besides, unless if Jamanda comes up and says, no, look, there's more to say to this, because at the moment it's
No,
it's a
he
case
says,
done.
please, no, he says, you can't teach me anything, Mutumwa. You can only cheat those who aren't in the know.
Well, that
We
is a
live
personal.
here say, Taka kunyararira until you start flying too high on wings of wax. Then when you fall, we'll be waiting for you.
Yeah, but that's a threat which he needs to ask himself, Kutizo, why does he say that?
No, I'm saying is my college. Let's just learn to interpret what somebody said, not what we want
That's
him
it.
to say.
And that's exactly what he said there. It's a threat, isn't it, really, to be honest? Is there anything else
Yeah,
to
he's
add on
saying
to
that
it?
I'm a liar. I'm a liar. He knows the truth.
And he's saying that you are also a cheater who cheated
No,
people
he
This is
out
what.
of,
says that whatever you produce as evidence, that is wrong because he works for government and he knows the truth.
yes.
Well,
Party to a
li-
telephone conversation that gives him that power. I was not
well,
in position.
but you do not have to clear yourself more than that letter, to be honest, or say anything more than that letter, because it is absolutely a sheer waste of time for you to justify in any other way besides the way you've just done it. Because you
No,
have
I'm
removed
saying
something.
is this man works for government. Your government
Yes.
argue with the truth. What else is he doing?
Yeah, that now now we are looking at the pros and cons of or lessons learned from this, isn't it? We've taken the effect because we've exhausted the problem that was there. We have
No, we have
looked at
not
the problem
accepted.
that
He's still in government and proud to be in government, proud to fight whatever truth comes his way because his mind is so superior, it absorbs only the truth. What he thinks is true becomes true because he's a little god working for government.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
So
I think I think it's just the talks that Zimbabweans talk. Everyone talks like that. They have not sung Amazing Grace. That's the problem.
No,
There's
I'm
a
saying
world of entitlement.
we're talking about this particular event that took place today.
Yes, and we have agreed from beginning from the moment we from even from the Twitter itself, we have agreed. We have laughed some of us about it. We have seen it that it's the same kind of language. I'm just getting to coming to a conclusion of narrative because at the end of the day, nothing is going to change those words because they are there. We have seen them. That he said what he said. You have answered in the way you have answered, and you've
No,
gone on to produce
it's not,
that letter.
it's not, it's not complete to read the Bible and do nothing. You can't exalt
Yeah,
it, but right
but
now,
this is what we are
you,
saying.
you,
We are now moving because we have to do come from gear one, gear two. What
no,
is
no,
it that we've learned?
you were part of the cheerleader while Messi was playing for Barcelona.
yes,
While
go
this
ahead.
was pontificating and urinating on your conscience, and you were absorbing all this nonsense.
Ay, 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 ay. Uyijamanda yatonetsa katwitika ndozvikutoitika.
No, I'm asking Levius to say, Levius,
Yes.
if you're doing PhD,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah, and you have observed that what Charamba believes to be true is not
Yes.
supported
Yes.
by evidence except his little mind.
That's true.
Yeah. And he works for government.
Yeah. I think the issue now when we talk about this, as you were talking about the narrative in the afternoon, something comes into my mind as I was reading down and everything, that the issue comes back to the issue which we were talking about the other day with Michael again yesterday. When we're talking about the issue that those guys that we are having at the moment, they are low to themselves, and what they say is
Not
they
those
believe
guys.
in what.
You know what I hate when people talk about the. You were talking about Amanda.
Hey,
Not talking eyes.
when Jamanda is speaking, he speaks in the sense that he is low to himself, and because when he said, "You cannot teach me anything," he's referring that he knows everything, and there is nothing that he can absorb from outside which can change whatever he believes in.
So I'm just saying to you, Jamanda is tweeted, and he is saying that I know the truth. He, meaning him, not me.
Yes.
That he knows the truth. And if
And
provoked, he's
nothing,
going to tell.
and nothing he's saying, but you said there is nothing that you can tell me which can change my position, because I know what I know.
No, I'm saying is now you are able to look at both sides, which you may not have looked at in the morning.
Yes.
And look at the context, because the letter, you may not have read it, because even now Michael cannot see the letter itself, or it may have escaped his attention.
Okay. Yes. I saw the letter, and
Like
I just
most people don't read, yet they proceed to the next subject. So how do we promote reading? How best do we promote so that people actually read with a view to understanding and asking the next questions? To say, Jamanda, I want to open a tweet with you. I have now had the opportunity of reading the letter. It mentions nothing that you have tweeted. So either Mawere is lying or you are lying.
lying. Yes.
Not why. We want is to establish the basis upon which he proceeds to boldly state something that he doesn't know anything about.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah, that's what we call active citizenship.
That's very true. That's very true. We are learning.
So I want you to have a conversation with Jamanda, not with me. To say, Jamanda, you stated as true and that Mawere was created by Jobo, and it was pursuant to a telephone conversation.
Yes. I'm getting. I'm getting you.
Reading a letter from the representative of the seller.
Yes.
And he doesn't corroborate what you have stated as fact.
Yes, I'm getting you.
Can you inbox me your own version so that I can speak to the truth in the matter?
That's very true.
Is that difficult?
No, it's not difficult.
Yeah. So let's Finley says, Tuma, please explain Charamba and Moyo role on the SMM recon. We are not there yet. We are still disputing the Pamalambo Finley. We want to get to the bottom of Pamalambo, because what Charamba is saying is Mawere was a robot, was a puppet.
Yes. That's very true.
So a deserves no mercy.
Very true. Very true. Both we are
A loss, because he can't lose anything that he never had.
That's
so
very
we
true.
are talking mystery, Finley. not Pamagumo. So
yes, I'm hearing you.
So you have read my conversation. I've given him that single letter.
Yes.
So
yes.
Let's do our work. Those who are privileged to have followed this conversation, you can even send the video to Charamba.
I'm hearing you.
I've actually retweeted. I've gone to read the letter. Actually, I've read it.
Yeah.
I've gone to the tweets to read it. Yeah, I've seen it.
That's right. So that's active citizenship. Don't allow people who work for government to pretend to be little gods and they tell you God is in it.
Is he not?
They can pontificate and hallucinate in the name of the people.
And this is why we are at this stage, because of that.
No, we may be in this state because of ourselves, that we don't do what we are supposed to do. To interrogate facts, to put people under the spotlight. It's not that I dislike Charamba, no. But what he doesn't know, he must say, I was not at the scene of the crime. He can't be saying I was at every major scene.
Yes, I'm getting you.
I think, in fair honest, you've put your points across that in this matter, or Jamanda is not aware of anything, of transactions, or of what happened, and you've produced the facts to back yourself to say, look, this is me, and you're not talking of anything, so I would,
I'm
and
saying is,
again,
unless you have a conversation with Jamanda,
yes,
it
of which
says nothing to do with it. I've said that was not there, but you may not have followed it the same way we have gone through with it now.
Yeah.
So that we are doing it for the benefit of others.
Yes.
Because I would definitely, I would definitely go and do this. I'm going to go back to this.
I'm saying not just you, Levias, Finley, and anyone who's listening. Please don't your future. Don't surrender it to these pontificators.
True.
Because these people can undermine your promise and you participate in it and cheerlead it.
That's very true.
So there is work to be done. Let's go with Charamba, so that we get to the bottom of his state of mind. What informs his theories about life? If you ask him to talk about colonialism, he's an expert. He even knows Rhodes. But Rhodes died in 1902. Talking to the statues of these people, not his own statue.
Yeah, that's true.
Who do you want a person like this in your government? Who can argue with you?
Yeah, I'm getting you. And we are learning. You know what? It's only through that learning that you can appreciate and understand. Because the way you're explaining it now is different from reading a tweet and following what is that is happening. But now, as you're saying it now, it's opening other. It is bringing about a knowledge to understand it. When things are being said, how do you come to understand, and how do you come to have to get a context, in the context of what is being said, and then you can have a narrative out of it. Now I'm starting to understand and really appreciate what you are trying to say now. It is now becoming more clear to me than when I was just just browsing down when I was in the morning.
Imagine I go, I'm a woman, I've been raped. I go to Charamba and say I've been raped. He says, no, you can't be raped. Because I spoke to the rapist.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Is that not an assumption? Is it? Are we judging it from this conversation you've made, or is it?
No, I'm saying is a person who argue with the person who is a victim. And says he knows the better truth. And you ask him, how do you know what you don't know? He says, trust me, I will expose you. I'm dead.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
So Finley says, so according to Jamanda, you were given SMM by RGM and Zimbabwe. That's what he says. He eavesdropped on a phone that I shortchanged Zimbabwe. Please, Finley, read the tweet that he shared. Zvanzi tibvire mawere, tibvirepo. Taurira nyika what Let Zobo did in the whole transaction that wound up. It had legs. It was given legs by Zobo, wound up, benefiting you because you happen to be the only Zimbabwean in place at the time of sell-off. That there was a sell-off. Then I just happened to nyukurwana Zobo ndokandwa mudhiri. Wakuda kuti wanda manje. So just you don't have to ask me, Finley, what Charamba said in his own words. Just follow his thread.
But Mr. Mawere,
Yeah.
Mr. Mawere,
Yeah.
Mr. Mawere,
Yeah.
that we've exhausted this one, isn't it? We've spoken for nearly an hour, really, about the ins and outs of what has gone on. But I'm also coming to, of course, obviously, I have to understand from Mr. Jamanda's response to the letter. I would definitely tweet and ask, because that's the only way I can communicate with him and say, look, what's going on, what happened. But looking at this as from lessons learned, obviously we've seen and we've seeing it with our eyes, from the tweets written by the name Jamanda, claiming that you were helped through this deal. But looking at it on a bigger picture, does it really matter that somebody, I know you today? There might be something that you're a very connected man, you're a very experienced man in whatever you do. You might say to me, "You're Mvane,
But you're
there's
not
something
being a
going
judge
on."
here. You're
Let
not
me
being
finish.
a judge.
We've spoken about this on the issue. I'm just saying, from just talking from looking from my own
No,
learning perspective.
let's end the show there so that we are not here to talk about things that didn't happen. We're just doing a summation of what happened today so that those who didn't follow the tweets can do so
Okay.
now with the different ends.
Okay, I think
So
it's
that
for the benefit of that. I think it's a fair point, really, to say others can also look at it, and then we can maybe have another session. Give a bit more people time to go and look. I'll also go and have a second look
we want
because
to look at what kind of people do we want in government. Do you want people who imagine reality, augment it with their own superstitious behavior or speculative approaches, or people who can be in government and speak truth to power? What they don't know, they don't know.
very
And
true.
just admit, I don't know, I want to learn. But I
Yeah,
can't
that's
move
true.
knowing that a person like this with this mindset is in the government that purports to represent. It would make me angry.
And you sound very angry, actually. You know.
No, I'm saying if you're not angry yourself, then there's a problem with you. That this is not a pedestrian saying all these things. He's saying I was with the head of state when a phone call came in.
Okay. Sorry, viewers. Yeah, viewers,
this is not Trevor Noah. This is not a comedy show. So, if you are watching there, we have come to the end of this conversation. This is really to explore
and enlighten
where it is wrong. Who is responsible? Who is not responsible? Perhaps it's us who are looking at all this as jokes, when in truth and fact, Jamanda waits for the people of Zimbabwe. He is very close to the president. And if he has got the habit of imagining reality and inventing facts in his head and being stubborn when he finds that those facts don't speak to the reality of what he's talking about, remains stubborn, steadfast, and foolish, then we allow this foolishness to define the kind of government we have and the kind of people who act in the name of a government. Then we must be speaking up, stepping forward, and raising a red flag that not in my name, Jamanda. If your facts, don't wait until you're in the graveyard to produce them. We don't want your memoirs. We want the government of people who represent other people who may be voiceless. On that note, Mike, do you want to sum up what you think are the key take-home points from this conversation?
I think as for me is I've taken that don't take assumptions, to anything. When you read and then really look into the ins and nitty-gritties of what is being said, especially when two people are having a conversation and these two people have got some influence in in the bigger picture of the political spectrum of a country, really. So I'm going to look back and reflect back on this letter and say to myself, what is it that I've learned from it? I'm going to go back again. Like I said, I didn't really put my head into it and, into the narrative, but I just spotted a few points that of two people who knew each other, who seemed to knew each other and seemed to have but now I've learned that, there's a very big knowledge gap between what actually happened, what actually transpired, and the narrative that Mr. Jamanda is put across. So it's lessons learned, and I hope we don't just make assumptions which just make us look silly and stupid, and at the end of the day, on a professional level, it doesn't work well, especially if or especially people are in position of power.
No, I think thank you very much. And Shepard Nyamanza, yes, with Jamanda and Emmanuel Nyakonda did respond to it. And that's what it is. Let's get Levius. Hello.
I think my interview just went off before I could sum up.
Okay, you can sum up. At least your voice is still there.
So I was saying that one thing that I I learned today. One is that we have to be responsible citizens who should speak. When they see that this is right, this is wrong. We should not just be spectators and cheer up on everything that is being said, because one way or the other we think that we might not have. Because from my assumption before we have been talking about this thing, was that there are one is that I didn't have enough information and everything. Two, I was not really following with the understanding of what really happened and how do you come in. But now, as you have said, they alluded to that, you have to pick up if there is evidence that has been laid down. You start from the evidence to say, do you dispute this thing? Or do you have any problem with this evidence, so that you can start to have a discussion from a point of knowledge. So I think our greatest thing is that, one, we lack the knowledge. Two, sometimes we are afraid to come out and really say the truth, even if we know the truth. So I think from the discussion, the hour that we have had, I have learned a lot that we have to be responsible citizens, and that is what even myself I have been failing to do, that, to stand up for the truth. I know I've been in discussion with Michael, when we were discussing that thing, the something that you are just saying, this is wrong, this is wrong. Let's stand for the truth and everything. So thank you very much. And I've learned something. We are learning. We are in the process of learning. And learning, you learn every day. You take something, you take it, and then you practice it. The issue now is about practicing what I have learned. Everything. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. And Mr. Signoro, I would have loved to participate, but there is a video. You can go through it. Let's be active, as Lev used to say. Let's go back to Jamanda to say, Jamanda, we want the truth. And please, if we work for government, hashtag not in my name. You can't hold these little secrets based on gossip and give them a life that they don't have. So how can Jamanda fabricate a story to suit his predetermined outcome and get away with it? And he can tweet it. And we say nothing. Then we say we want a new Zimbabwe. Where is it coming from? People who removed Mugabe are the same people who are promising you a better future, but they're not prepared to change who they are. So we talk about Professor Moyo on the same issue that Jamanda has said. Their views are not far apart. They are experts, the two of them. So if Zimbabwe goes down, the jobs that were lost, incomes that were lost, just on one company, 16 years, they have nowhere to go. They have no voice in parliament because the people in parliament are fighting over allowances or cheerleading one or the other leader. Whoever the leader is silent on what matters, but vocal on being a leader. Leading who to where? Nobody knows. But the citizens are like a football kicked around, even by people like Jamanda, who between his ears, the universe resides. He knows everything, even to the extent of substituting the people who ought to know because they lived the facts, they lived the experiences. Who am I to argue whether Jesus was alive or not? Who am I to argue whether he was crucified? I can learn a lot from there. But for me to start arguing and say, I know Jesus was not crucified, did not resurrect, who am I? But this is the minds that we have in our governments. So as we think and reflect, go to the thread. If you have not participated fully in this conversation, the good thing is, unlike the times of Prophet Muhammad or Jesus Christ, there were no dictaphone, there were no recorders. We live in the digital age. So immediately we finish this, take it to Jamwanda and tell him, not in my name. If you have facts, bring them so that we speak to facts. Let ideas fight ideas. Let us not use our minds to create facts. Let's use our minds to celebrate facts. What we don't know is still as good as what we know. Because we all don't have to experience the same. So I do hope wherever you are, whatever you are doing, please pause, reflect. This is your government. Charamba does not work for himself, but he believes he owns the government. He owns ZANU-PF. And therefore, he can urinate on all of us and tell us it's raining because he's urinating. Never again shall we accept nonsense, foolishness in the name of government. Who is he? Who does he think he is? Now he's got dreams, ghosts of Mugabe calling talking about something they don't own. And they're busy distributing in their minds. And they're busy creating an agent. And I become the agent. Because Charamba doesn't think I'm worthy of standing on my feet, but on my knees, begging for Jobo to accommodate me in something that never visited him. He's got his own children. Imagine they hear this tweet. And they look at it and say, I stole something from my father, from my uncle. Because I heard it from Charamba, who was party to a telephone conversation. Can you imagine? And Jobo will be distributing something he doesn't have, he doesn't own. What about the things that he owned? Did he ever include me in his will? Now he becomes a factor in somebody else's affairs. You have seen the letter. He doesn't talk of me writing a letter on behalf of somebody else, as if I can't write my own letter. And Charamba asks, how did you know the company was for sale? I said, read the letter. It was unsolicited, based on an announcement in the media, in the Financial Times, that I can also read. He can read. But he's not prepared to read. He can just go to the Financial Times and check. In September, did the issue of TNN disposing of its non-core assets become part of that story? If not, then he says, I'm lying. But if it is, then he ought to start respecting other people. You can't do this to other people. Imagine I'm your boyfriend or girlfriend, I give you a car, then Charamba comes and says that car is not yours because you were given by your boyfriend. Who the hell is he? So let's go step by step. As Michael said, we're finished with one part of it. Let's go to the second part, just to provoke you to take ownership of your government and the people who act in your name, in the name of government, so that never again can they be allowed to do this. I'm angry. And I don't know whether you are also angry to have this guy pontificate on Twitter. And he's not accountable. He thinks it's a joke. When they removed Mugabe, it was a joke. He just discovered he was unemployed. He died a disappointed man who thought he was elected to finish his term. They cut it short. And this is the mind of people who can fabricate reality and produce outcomes, and people celebrate. And they think, let's have more of this nonsense. So please take this video to Chamwanda, whoever he is, and tell him, let's have an honest conversation. Mawere is your victim because you chose to create reality over facts. But you guys are not reality, you're looking to the future. And any day you squander, any hour you squander, any second you squander, because of little minds like this, it undermines your future. There will never be another day that repeats itself. It's gone. These guys are squandering other people's aspirations in the name of preserving some idiocy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Many
much.
blessings. Thank you, Mr. Mawere.